No, we're just watching.
I'm going to try to remember.
Okay, yeah, I was
I got to count
told
down.
that somebody was keeping track.
I can't.
Okay, she gonna do it then?
I'll keep time.
Just like call for something when
Are you ready?
are we ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
You ready?
All right, start the clock.
Good afternoon. My team's platform today is the United States federal government should significantly limit the National Security Agency ability to gather information on United States citizens. Since September 11, 2001, we as citizens of the United States of America have watched our liberties fade away. Since September 11th, the government has been engaging in extensive surveillance and data mining. In November of 2002, the New York Times informed us of the Defense Department putting together a data mining project called Total Information Awareness. The goal to gather information about people to include financial, educational, health, and other pertinent information. The information then to be analyzed for patterns of suspicious nature. Admiral John Poindexter said the only way to detect terrorists is to look for patterns of activity that are based on observations from past terrorist attacks, as well as estimates about how terrorists will adapt to our measures to avoid detection. In December of 2005, the New York Times also revealed that the Bush administration secretly authorized the National Security Administration to engage in warrantless wiretapping of American citizens' telephone calls. In May of 2006, USA Today broke a story that the NSA had obtained the customer records of several major phone companies and were analyzing them to identify potential terrorists. These are just some of the blatant actions against our Fourth Amendment rights of unlawful search and seizure. The founders of this great nation did not intend to have us searched or our property seized physically or in secret. This is just another example of big government using the tragically horrific day of September 11th as another means to control the citizens of the United States. Thank you.
I'd like to use some preparation. As the opposition, our claim is that the NSA should significantly limit its surveillance of U.S. citizens because the NSA's priority is national security, and their surveillance is a necessary means of protection. I'd like to begin by refuting the claim that the government is overstepping its boundaries when it takes phone data. Third parties already collect this data, so our privacy is not infringed upon. In Barack Obama's statements during his address of January 17, 2014, he states, "We cannot unilaterally disarm our intelligence agencies. There's a reason why BlackBerries and iPhones are not allowed in the White House Situation Room. We know that intelligence services of other countries are constantly probing our government and private sector networks and accelerating programs to listen to our conversations, intercept our emails, and compromise our systems. We know that." He continues saying that corporations of all shapes and sizes track what you buy, store and analyze our data, and use it for commercial purposes. That's how targeted ads pop up on your computer or your smartphone. U.S. intelligence agencies will only use such data to meet specific security requirements: counterintelligence, counterterrorism, counterproliferation, cybersecurity, force protection for our troops and allies, and combating transitional crimes. Information from phones is valuable data that is already held by third parties. The NSA uses this information for protection and surveillance, not exploitation and financial gain. I would like to refute the claim that the government is infringing on our Fourth Amendment rights when it takes data. The collection of metadata does not infringe on citizens' Fourth Amendment rights. In an article from the Computer and Internet Lawyer of 2013 by David Bender, he states the Supreme Court has twice held that records voluntarily provided to a third party, such as telephone metadata, are not protected by the Fourth Amendment because there's no longer any expectation of privacy in them. The Supreme Court recognizes several types of special needs situations: high school drug screenings, searches of persons and property entering the United States, where searches and seizures are reasonable even absent probable cause and a warrant. The need to protect our national security seems to fit well within this doctrine, especially when there's reason for the government to act expeditiously. The data under observation is not protected by the Fourth Amendment. Its collection is legal. Metadata is already held by a third party holder. We cannot expect a lower privacy to the data already claimed by another company. To continue, I'd like to introduce the argument that interference with the NSA and its means of metadata collection would interfere with its effectiveness. To start, interference with surveillance would hinder the effectiveness of the speed of the research and investigation. An article from the Washington Post of January 2014 by Ellen Nakashima, she states that supporters of the NSA program said it's important for the agency to maintain the database of phone records so that analysts can query it quickly. One phone company executive concurred that private sector can't mine records the same way as NSA because their databases aren't as comprehensive. Allowing gathered data to stay in the hands of the private sector would severely restrict the speed at which information can be accessed and utilized, limiting the effectiveness of the NSA. This is important because our protection is at risk, and to collect data that is important, especially valuable data, is not, we've already countered the argument that it's illegal. It's not illegal, and it's in our best interest. To repeat, the NSA should not significantly limit its surveillance services. To begin, I'd like you to clarify what you mean by significantly limiting the NSA.
I would like to propose that the NSA make more public of what they're doing. I understand, I spent 25 years in the military. I understand the need for secret, but I don't understand why I served and fought and come back to a country that is taking away the same thing I served for. That's what I have an issue with.
So transparency would limit the NSA. Do you believe the transparency of how we collect data and what data we have could be in the hands of terrorists or potential threats if we release that information?
Again, I have to fall back on my experience, and if they want it, they're going to get it regardless. Period. I've seen the way it works. I know the way it is. No matter how transparent or non-transparent we are, it will continue. It's called spying. Everybody does it.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. I wanted to agree with you on the privacy, or the private information is limited from Walmart, and where Walmart cannot get as much information as the NSA. I understand that, obviously, who has more resources. But when we talk legality of this data mining, and only certain information is being taken, do you have proof that only certain information? I mean, you were told there was only certain information.
The metadata? Is that what you're asking?
For the NSA data mining, you were told that only certain information. And where did you hear that from?
Is this a question of credibility, or do you want to define a source?
No, well, I'm getting to a point, and you don't have to answer. My point is, the very government that is controlling NSA, or not controlling, however you want to look at it, is the very government that's telling you it's legal.
Are you arguing that we should distrust our government? in this
Not
regard?
distrust it. Don't be naive. If the government is the one that's telling you it's legal, it's okay. What was that, Fahrenheit 411? Is that what it was? For, you're too young.
No, she said it.
Fair enough.
You start on that.
I'm ready. You ready? Judge, you ready?
Yep.
Ready. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by read something to you. University of Chicago Law Review posted that the Defense Department and other agencies, after appropriation, made consultation for Congress to pursue data mining of records of Americans as well as foreign citizens for the purpose of gathering information relevant to law enforcement agencies as well as foreign intelligence. Well, one of the things is that how do we know that the government is not just stopping for those records there and not just looking for everything else? And I think that's the limited liability should be placed upon them, limiting their gathering of information. Well, Edward Snowden, I'm sure everyone know him, when he leaked the information about the NSA, and he was leaking information saying what the government was doing, and which was beyond the scope of how they should be collecting information and the information they were spying on the citizens, the average American citizen. And the government they never made it public. It only became public once he brought it out in the open. So I think that there should be some safeguards imposed on the government and how they collect information just for the purpose of the citizens, and not just go out there. I understand that. I agree to some things that you said as far as wiretap, and I know that some of that is necessary, but we have to have some kind of guidelines on how far the government can go as far as wiretapping and gathering information.
I would like to refute the claim that the NSA has gone too far when it comes to obtaining information from United States citizens. Seeing how that is our resolution that the NSA should not be significantly limited in its ability to gather information on United States citizens. According to the Huffington Post by Jack Levin on May 1st, 2013, terrorism in the United States is domestic in origin. The majority of terrorist attacks are strictly homegrown, originating with American citizens who are left or right-wing extremists, animal activists, environmental radicals, and anti-abortion extremists. Most are committed by American citizens. Now, why does this matter? Well, if the NSA was limited in its ability to obtain information on United States citizens, which I just said pose the most terrorist threats, that would enable American citizens who are terrorists to further their terrorist plots or plans. United States citizens should not be exempt from surveillance just because they're United States citizens, just because our opponents say that it goes against the Fourth Amendment right, which we already proved that what the NSA does is legal. Just because people don't believe that's right doesn't mean that United States citizens should be exempt, because they are the biggest threat to the United States when it comes to terrorism. I would also like to point out, just to go off, that Americans are a big threat, with just examples that are from CNNLibrary.com, which is also common knowledge, from the string of terror that lasted from 1978 to 1995 by Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber, also known as an American citizen. The shooting rampage in the military processing center at Fort Hood, Texas, committed by Nidal Hassan, also a Virginia native, also an American citizen. And the Boston bombing on April 15, 2013, committed by Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, which is also an American citizen. Our side is that the NSA should not be significantly limited in its ability to obtain information from American citizens, because American citizens do pose a threat to our country and our safety. I would also like to refute the claim that when the opponents were asked what significantly limit would mean, and they stated that the things would make more public, I would like to state that everything we're arguing about today is information that we got from public places. It's all public knowledge. It's American citizens' choice to, like they said, be naive and not do the research when it comes to, signing up for a cell phone or going on Facebook. It's an American citizen's responsibility to protect themselves when it comes to giving away their information. I would also like to bring up